Hello everyone, this is General Hand Grenade. Welcome to my war room in Prince George, British Columbia. This is another video in the series of how to play Global War 1936 to 1945. The last video that I did was on the political situation, but I didn't include everything because there was so much involved in the political situations in this game. And I kind of wanted to key on some of the certain ones, but give them their own video because you might think to yourself, well, what's the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact? So rather than having to wade through a whole hour and something video, because the last video was an hour and it would have been a lot longer if I'd gone through this, then try to wade through that just to find that pact, right? So I thought I'd make one of its own on the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, so that if you wanted to find out what that was, or if you had some questions about that, you were going to sign it, then you thought, well, what was that one thing again? You know, then you could just come to this video. So let's get going on that. So what was it? Well, there was a lot of diplomatic agreements that that happened during during World War II, and one of them is included in this game. There's a couple of treaties in this that you can get in this game, but this one here is probably the biggest one, and it's called the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, and they included the Treaty of Non-Aggression between Germany and the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, or the USSR. This set of agreements may go into effect in July 1939 or later if the German and Soviet players agree mutually. Now, I want to show you something here. Let's take a look at the website here, Historical Board Gaming. So if you go here, Global War 1936 to 1945, and you go down to download rules for it, and then you scroll down, and it says Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. So you can actually print this off if you want, and the players can sign it. Now, I don't think I'd go that far, but anyway, I mean, there's the pact right there. You can sign it, and I don't know why, because you're allowed to break it anyway, so getting it in writing isn't going to do you much good, right? But I thought that was interesting that they actually had it on there that you could sign that. So what is it about? Okay, well, it's a pact of non-aggression for one thing. So Germany and USSR agree not to declare war on each other, but like I said, they can still do that later in the game. They're just agreeing not to do it now, and they're doing that for benefits. Each one of them will get benefits for that. Like they'll both get money, and Russia will get an extra technology role, and we'll get into what they're going to get. But that's why they would do that, right? But you don't have to sign the pact. Like you can just play it straight up. You know, where Germany, you're playing Russia, and Germany approaches you and say, "Hey, let's sign that pact." Well, no, I'm not going to give you anything. You know, I know I'm not going to get anything, but I don't want you getting anything because I don't trust you. You know, it's just one of those things that makes this game a little more interesting, right? So that's basically what it is a non-aggression pact. So sphere of influence. The USSR player may combat move units into each of the Baltic states and place a Soviet roundel there. No combat occurs. Remove all Baltic states military units from the game. So this is what they're talking about here. These are the Baltic states here. There's 3 of them. There's Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. So what you would do if you decided to sign that pact, or you just said you signed it between the two of you. So one of the things you would do is remove these 3 units here, and you would put the Soviet roundel on there, and then of course they would get the money. Like this one's worth $1, right? So the Russian player would go up 1 IPP. So that's the first thing that happens. And then Russia may combat move into East Poland and Lubelski and place a Soviet roundel in each after Germany occupies Warsaw, regardless of Polish alignment to Britain. And then combat occurs with any of the Polish forces present. So that's these 2 territories here. So after Warsaw falls to the Germans, like the German player goes before the Russian player does, right? So what would happen would be Germany would take probably these three territories here. So these would be German, and you would see German roundels on them. And then the Russia player would come in here and they would fight this guy and take him out. And there's probably not going to be anybody else in there, but if they were, they'd have to fight anybody else there as well. And so they take them. And then the Russian player may invade Viipuri, that's in Finland. So let's take a look over here. This one here with the bunker on it here, and it's got the three elite Finnish ski troops there. So the Russians can invade that guy, and that's not going to mean that these other ones can be aligned. The last video we talked a lot about alignment and control. That's not going to affect these things. They're not going to be under the control of the German player because you've signed this pact. Basically, the German player is saying, well, if you give me these benefits, then I'll let you attack Viipuri and these guys. And, you know, so that kind of supersedes the regular rules of the game, right? So it says Germany may not control aligned Finland until Germany is at war with Russia. Russia may not attack other zones in Finland. So the Russian player can only attack this one zone, and it's worth 1, right? And basically what they're doing is they're setting themselves up for the rest, you know, like because once these guys do go to war, and they are eventually going to go to war, right? At some point, either Russia or Germany is going to break that pact of non-aggression between them, and they'll be at war. And then it's just a hop, skip, and a jump for the Russians to invade these territories as well, and then they'll get 2 more bucks out of that. And then they're right next to Sweden, and there's Norway there, and it's just it's a way for the Russians to start in on taking territories in Scandinavia here. This is Scandinavia, this whole thing up here. So what else? And the USSR may not attack Romania or Hungary while those countries are neutral. So the Russians are not going to get to attack Romania or Hungary here while they've signed the pact. So that's just going to prevent them from going in there. Now, as far as trade goes, Germany and Russia agree mutually beneficial trade. The players do not actually exchange any resources, but what happens is the German's going to get an extra 5 IPP of bonus income, and the USSR is going to get 3 IPP of bonus income and a free research roll on each turn. And like Germany already gets a free research roll on each turn, and this is what they're talking about here. The research and technology. It costs $2 to make a roll, and this is just, I haven't changed this since the end of the last game. So you see all the weapons that people got. Like you make a roll, and if you get a 7, then you get to put a pie there. Like the Russians. Let's say the Russians are going to go to heavy armor. Well, now they get a free roll and they already start here. So if they get an 8, then bang, they go there. And the next turn they get another free roll, and bang, they get an 8, then they're there. Next thing you know, they've got heavy armor once they get to the end here, right? So that's why a free roll is advantageous to them. So they can go for whatever technology they want. They can try for whatever technology they want. So that's what that free roll is all about. And the Germans are just going to get $5, right? So the next thing is Basis Nord. Germany may build a submarine base in Murmansk. This base is eliminated immediately if Russia and Germany are at war. It may not be attacked by a nation that is not at war with Russia. So that means this is Murmansk right here. And what you can do is you can build a sub base there. The Germans can build a sub base there. Now, Germany's not going to get this territory, right? It's still going to be a Russian territory, but they're going to have a submarine base there. And what that means is that German submarines can go 1 extra space. So it's like a naval base for submarines. Plus, they can build subs at a sub base, right? The other thing is that the Baltic White Sea Canal. Once per turn, a German submarine may move to Leningrad, Sea Zone 16 during non-combat movement, and subsequently be placed in the White Sea for no additional movement costs. So let's say you had a sub out here for the Germans. You could come in here, 1, 2, or where are we here? Oh, here we are. We're in Leningrad. So this is Leningrad down here, and then automatically this sub will be moved along this canal here and come out here in C Zone 6. So you basically what it means is that you can move one sub through C Zone 6 per turn. The Russians are going to let you go through there once per turn. So you're building subs here. You're bringing more subs through there. I don't know what you need so many subs up there for, but you're going to get them. And then the Northern Sea route, well, this might explain it. So Germany may move one naval unit per turn via the Northern Sea route. This unit must begin its non-combat movement in C Zone 5 or C Zone 6 by expending its entire movement allowance, including naval bases bonus, and then is placed in C Zone 7. So we talked about this on the map video. And what that is here's C Zone 5 and C Zone 6. Those are those two C zones. Now you can't see it on here, but there's a northern route to get through there, and it comes out here in C Zone 7. So now we're out in the Pacific, right? So once per turn, Germany can move a boat from C Zone 5 or 6 to C Zone 7. That's part of the pact, is Russia's going to allow them to do that. Because it's up to Russia to decide who gets to use that, right? Use it, like Russia's the only one that gets to use it, unless they want to allow somebody. Like they might let an ally use it, because they both have a common enemy in the Axis. At this point in the game, though, Russia is at peace with Germany when they sign this pact. So, you know, they're kind of playing both sides of the fence on that one, right? Okay, so, and then termination. Either player may declare the pact nullified at any point in time by renouncing it. Once nullified, the pact may not be signed again and all provisions end. The pact ends automatically if Germany and USSR are at war. So if Germany and USSR go to war, then this comes off the board too. Like they lose that submarine base, right? And no longer Germans are allowed to come through here. And the Russians don't get that extra roll anymore. They don't get the extra 3 IPP. The Germans don't get the extra 3 IPP. And that non-aggression pact's over. So the Russians can attack Hungary and they can attack Romania, and it's game on. And that is the Molotov-Ribbentrop pact. So I'm going to have to try that sometime when I'm playing a game. I got a couple guys coming up next month. They're experienced players. They're coming here from the City of Champions, Edmonton, Alberta. And I'm looking forward to that. And hopefully we sign the Molotov-Ribbentrop pact in that game, because I want to see, you know, last time I played without it, right? I want to see, you know, like, does that actually work out well for both players, or is it advantageous to one side over the other? I don't know. It's one of those things you're just going to have to try out, right? Anyway, that's it for this video. So take care, everyone. General Hand Grenade out.